Hi everyone, let's go over my bullish and bearish Elliott wave scenarios on Bitcoin, starting with the bullish scenario on the weekly time frame where we're looking for a bigger 5-wave impulsive structure to the upside, currently working on this yellow wave 3. Inside this wave 3, we then have the lower degree green count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The common target for your wave 4 is between the 382 and the 05 Fibonacci, taken from the low to the high of wave 3, giving you a target between 57.6k and 53.3k, which has been touched once, as you can see. The target for your wave 5 is between 78.6k and 110.6k, which of course is a very big target area, but based on the lower time frame structures, we can get more specific as we get more information. What is quite common in Elliott waves is that a wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the price action of a wave 4 of a lower degree. The higher degree wave 4 is the yellow wave 4 and the lower degree wave 4 is the green wave 4. So therefore, we at least have to consider that if we move to the upside and finish wave 3, we get a sharp wave 4 correction to the downside, retracing to the price section of the lower degree wave 4, which at the moment is between 73.8k and 56.5k, after which we then look for continuation to the upside for the final push in a wave of 5. On the daily time frame, price has hit the 886, taken from the high to the low, increasing probabilities for price to sooner or later take out the all-time high. And the reason for this is that the 886 is a common target for a wave B or a wave X. Therefore, it increases probabilities any move down is either a wave C or a wave Y, or at least part of a corrective structure, which increases the probabilities to then sooner or later move back up to take the all-time high. The 886 is very rare for a wave 2, which decreases the probabilities for a wave 1, 2 and a bigger wave 3 to much lower prices. What's also interesting is the volume so far in this range. You can see that we've been going sideways for a very long time as volume has been moving towards the downside, which is quite typical for wave 4 price action. The bullish scenario on the daily time frame is that your low is in, wave 4 is finished, and we're looking for an impulsive structure to the upside. Here we have a finished impulse in a wave 1, looking for a 3-wave corrective structure in 2 and then continuation to the upside in a wave 3. The most common target area for your wave 2 is between the 05 and the 786 Fibonacci, taken from the low to the high of wave 1, giving you a target between 64.3k and 59.8k. The 0.5 has now been touched, as you can see. However, preferably a wave 2 is finishing after the 0.382 Fib time, taken from the start to the end of wave 1, which therefore means we could be looking for a bigger 3-wave corrective structure on the lower time frames to end after the 382, which is sitting on the 21st of June. The 886 is a very rare target for a wave 2, we don't want to hit that at 58.2k. Another bullish scenario, but eventually bearish, is that this range is going to continue in a bigger expanding flat. Here we have a 3-wave structure in a wave A, wave B and a wave C currently working on this wave B. The common target area for your wave B is between the 1.236 and the 1.38 Fibonacci, taken from the start to the end of wave A, giving you a target between 77.9k and 80.4k. After price hitting this area, we then look for a move to the downside impulsively in a 5-wave impulsive wave C to the downside, moving below wave A at 56k. So by all means, we first take the all-time high, which is pretty much the case in both of these scenarios, but then we observe the reaction in this area, and if we do see weakness and a sideways range, maybe some bearish CVD divergences, price falling back in this range as well over here, then we could be looking for a move to the downside of the range. Now currently working on this wave B, which most commonly is a zigzag family structure. At the moment on the chart you can see a WXY, double zigzag, A, B, C and W, corrective structure in wave X, and another ABC to the upside in a wave Y. The common target area for your wave X is between the 382 and the 06, which is where we are at the moment, and we don't want to hit the 0.7 as that significantly reduces the probabilities for a double zigzag WXY. If price moves to the upside and hits the 1.618 at 84.5k, the probabilities are significantly reduced for this scenario, as for a wave B, the 1.618 is a rare target. From a psychology standpoint, however, this is by far the most interesting scenario, where we first fake out an all-time high. Of course, we have FOMO kicking in and YOLO and all that good stuff, and then eventually you move price to the downside impulsively with your wave C, a strong 5-wave, a scary move to the downside, people talking about the bear market and the bull market is over and all that shit, and then eventually here at the low, that is where we have fear and panic and people selling, and that is where we then reverse it back towards the upside, which would also of course neutralize the greed and fear index. So it's actually quite an interesting scenario, but it will take a bit of time before we have some clarity, as of course in both of these scenarios we first need to take the all-time high. Now locally we have found a bit of support on the daily gap. We've been talking about the daily gap, and generally when you hit it for the first time you see some support. If we do close a candle inside the daily gap, a daily candle that is, then we can expect price to move to the downside to fill the gap at 63.1k. If we look at the probabilities of the different scenarios, then on the weekly time frame, the probabilities are higher for the bullish scenario as explained, and the bearish scenario only starts to be considered if we at least can hit 49.3k. On the daily time frame, this range over here, the probabilities are higher to take the all-time high first instead of taking 56k first. I hope that this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the brand new complete Elliott Wave Guide playlist I've made that shows you all you need to know about Elliott waves. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.